Today. Thank you. It was a pretty good birthday. I went fishing this morning, caught 4 fish, and somehow became friends with a horse. Don't know how that happened, but either way, it was a pretty fun day. It was a hot day. Didn't really stay out there for very long, probably 2 hours altogether. Got there about a little after 7 and left a little after, and the humidity wasn't much better. So, needless to say, we didn't stay very long. And but it was pretty fun. We had a fun time while we was there. It was me and a guy from church. So that's pretty much all I've really did for my birthday. This is the first birthday I've had off since I started working. So, 24 straight years of working on a birthday. So I I've been on vacation from work this week, so I really didn't have no big plans on doing anything for my birthday other than catching up on sleep. So that's what I kind of been doing on again, off again all day is catching up on sleep. And I'm doing all right, Miss Fawn. How are you doing? And then tomorrow, we got a church auction going on. I may film some of that to see show y'all how crazy that can get down here in the South. Well, that sounds fun, Miss Fawn. From what I've seen of weather reports, y'all are catching some pretty bad weather up your way. Or at least that's what the weather's been saying anyway. And watching 5 dogs can get pretty fun as weather comes through. Seen Facebook's doing a thing now, keeping up with your top fans and everything. So I don't know how that's going to do for his content creator. I guess it's an easier way of keeping up with everything. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Miss Fawn. If I could send the clear, warm weather up your way, I would. I think the last time I looked, it was 110 out there today. So, hey, and we had some storms earlier, but they mainly went above and below where I live at. Because the funny thing is, you can watch it on radar. It'll be coming straight at us. Next thing you know, it splits down the middle and we don't get nothing. But either Scottsboro or Fort Payne gets it. And then we're over here needing rain. We can't even get the first drop of it. He's been getting a lot of clap back on faking his ghost videos. So I don't know if he'll be putting much more of them out here anymore. I'm waiting for him to do another live stream if he'll ever do another one. Uh, 1 minute he started doing them, coming back doing them again. The next thing you know, he's quit doing them again. He stopped doing them right about the time he had eye surgery again. So I don't know if that's done him any coming in Monday. So we'll be able to do going out on adventures rather than y'all seeing me stuck here at the house or sitting outside. We'll be doing a lot more different. We seen some different settings. There's some abandoned towns and cities around here. I want to take y'all through and just sort of show y'all that. I believe that'd be something interesting to show you. And there's backwoods around here that has some beautiful scenery around it that I believe y'all would enjoy as well. Because, like I said, Alabama gets a lot of crap for made up rumors said about it. It's not completely 100% true. And I know I'm not someone that's really showing y'all some of the stuff going on around here, but I at least want to help show y'all what life around, Alabama's really like. Or at least in the northeast corner where I'm at. Because you got places like Huntsville, Decatur, Birmingham, and Montgomery taking up most of what people see, and then everywhere else just gets kind of left out. And that'll be some of the places I'll start showing y'all next week. It'll be more or less 2 or 3 days a week I'm going out showing y'all different places around here, and won't show y'all my fishing spots. That's something I'm going to keep secret to myself. Because down here in Alabama, you do have those idiots who, if they find out where you're fishing at, they will flat out steal it. So that's why I really don't show a whole lot on where I'm going fishing at. And, yeah, Texas is getting it pretty rough out there. I was watching some of the news yesterday, and they said between Texas and North Carolina, something like 179 people has more or less been killed by flood. And my thoughts and prayers go out to everybody that was affected by that. And especially out there in Texas, because majority of the people killed out there was all those kids. And as a parent, you're not ready for something like that. Because, as far back as time goes, it's usually the kids that are burying the parent and not the parent having to bury the kids. But y'all know as well as I have, if you live long enough, you've kind of seen that shift around to where now it's the parents having to bury the kids, and that's the kind of pain that, you really can't take away. I mean, I can't think of any parent that'd want to do that. And I unfortunately had something like that. Hey, gunslinger, how are you doing today? Hope everything's going all right where you're at. Hey, if you want to see Mother Nature do some crazy things, move to the south. I have seen it do some crazy things over the years. Well, I really don't lean one way or another on Donald Trump. I like him better than the last two presidents we had. Because I really didn't care for Barack Obama. And Joe Biden was a joke. He should never have been president. But as long as Donald Trump can keep America on the right and, help bring jobs back to places that desperately need jobs and get us turned around the right way, I'll keep supporting him. Now, immigration is, I'll say, like, if you're coming to the United States, I don't care where you're coming from. If you're coming over here to live, you want to better your family, get a better job, and to, better y'all's life all around, I'm all for it. But if you come over here illegally, yes, I do believe you should be sent back to wherever it is you came from. And, that's pretty much where I stand on it. Because, like I say, I have no problems with people wanting to come over here. And if you look through the history of, the United States, hey, Cancut, how are you doing today? But in all reality, unless you're a full-blooded Native American, everybody else is pretty much immigrated up here. But yeah, I support the people that want to come over here for a better life and who do it legally and go through, the right channels to do it to get their green cards and all that. I'm doing pretty good, Cancun. I went fishing this morning, and that's pretty much what I've been up to today. Even though it's my birthday, I didn't have no real big plans of doing anything. But yeah, that's what most people don't get is he's not wanting to kick out the ones that came over here legally. It's the ones that's coming over here illegally. That's making it pretty much rough on the rest of us. Because if you think about it, most of I've gotten to be good friends with people that immigrated over here, and a lot of them got anywhere between $10,000 and $20,000 handed to them, helping hand and getting them a vehicle and a place to live and all that, and that's not a half bad deal. But in a way, I'm sitting there thinking, you got people in here in this country that need, that kind of help and all that. But, I'm going to kind of stay out of all that. But, like I say, as long as they come over legally and not over here to pretty much, commit crimes and bring the illegal drugs and stuff, all that over, I have no problem people coming over here. But we all know that no matter how hard you try, no matter what laws you pass, and no matter what sanctions you put out there, there are going to be people that will find a way to get over here, find new ways of bringing, the drugs and all that other stuff over. So I don't think that's anything. I don't think that's going to be anything that's going to go away anytime soon. Man, they've been fighting this same battle longer than I've been alive, and I turned 41 today. So, unless they just start wanting to point bombs at the borders, I don't think that's going to help nothing. Hey, Miss Swan, glad to see you make it back. In all honesty, I can't think of a good good way myself that would slow something down like that. Because every time you pass a new law or do something around the borders that makes it harder for them to get in, they find new ways of getting in. Just look down there at the Mexico American border. They're still finding tunnels where I think they found close to almost over 100 miles worth of tunnels coming into the United States from Mexico. And I think they're still finding more. I wouldn't mind visiting every state myself if I had the money to do it, and a pretty good vehicle to drive with. Because I'm one of those. I'm not going to get on an airplane. I'm not too keen on flying. I never did like to fly anyway. Because the further away from the ground I am, the unhappier I get. I'd rather stay close to the ground myself. And it's not that I'm afraid of heights. It's that sudden stop I don't like. I'm going to take y'all outside here for a minute. It's finally not all that hot out here. Ain't really a whole lot going on around here, as y'all can see. Finally got the yard mowed. Got some blackberry bushes out there and everything. Already got 2 buckets full of them. And, if you ain't never had blackberries straight off the vine, you're absolutely missing out. I don't like planes either, and I've never been on one. Well, never been on one while it's flying. Now, believe it or not, thank you, Miss Fauna. I try to keep the yard looking pretty good, even though, as you can see, from where that pole is to right there is the width that we get, and from the road to back there on both sides is all the yard we really get. So I try to keep it looking good. And I've always wanted one of those. If I can't drive to where I'm going, then I'm not going to go to it because I don't want to fly. Because it's that sudden stop when you're that high up, it's rare you survive something like that. Not saying that people ain't survived plane crashes and all that. There's been, recorded documents of people surviving a plane crash, but the chances ain't good. So I'd much rather, and I know a lot of people are going to say, well, you can die in a car crash a lot quicker than a cat falling out of an airplane, but I'd rather stay close to the ground. But believe it or not, even though Jackson County altogether, I think there's maybe 45,000 people, maybe, that lives in this county. It's a small county. Population-wise, 45,000 people is, I think, it. But down in Scottsboro, which I took y'all down through that way in some ride-alongs, and I will have to ask permission to do this. But once I get me a vehicle, or if I'm riding with somebody, convince them to take me over there, I'll see about getting permission from the small little airport we have here and take y'all through a little tour of it. It's not a big airport, that sweet tea's pretty good. I got my Dr. Pepper sitting inside. But they don't let commercial jets land there or anything. It's mainly like people that own their own small aircraft. And the biggest airplane they'll let in there is one of those private jets that you see a lot of rich people have. Because we have a small airport in Scottsboro, and then there's one in Fort Payne. I haven't took y'all through, as far as, taking y'all on a ride along from here to Rainsboro, Fort Payne, I haven't done it yet. Mainly because I don't go that way that much. I have taken y'all through Powell's and Shiloh when I went to go to my friend's house. But there's a lot of companies around here that are owned by rich corporations or rich people from other states. And they do fly in from time to time to check, personally check up on how everything's going. I've met the people who own, I can't think of the name of the company, but there's a place in the industrial park in Scottsboro that make the brakes, or some kind of little cylinder that goes for the brakes. It starts out as a long, thin piece of tin, and then it gets turned into a circle, and it becomes a part of the system that goes to your brakes. And they do that and a couple of other things that has to do with brakes for the Toyota place, and Honda. And I know y'all think, why with two competitive companies want to hire the same company to do it. Well, believe it or not, Toyota and Honda actually take the same kind of brake system. So, they're really not competing with each other and everything. So they got two contracts with them. And I have seen them fly over, and I think they're from Japan or something like that. And they're pretty nice people. You can tell they got money. They had their fancy clothes on, and they just looked and acted the part. Which, like I said, they stopped by and greeted us all and asked how it was all doing and if there was anything we'd like to see to improve the company. So it was an all-around fun time. And the other day, my phone went through a major update and added some things to my phone that going to make it run better and do better. So, my video quality and all that's going to go up for you. I ended up cooking me a hamburger with now I don't know if this is a local thing. I haven't seen it in Walmart or any other grocery store, but here at our local Foodland, they every now and again they'll bring in some different kinds of brands and stuff to sell, and they got some tater tots in that has cheddar cheese infused with it. That is, I would recommend getting it. Now, I can't remember the brand that's on it, who makes it, but I'm sure there's similar stuff where everybody else lives. But if you can find something like that with the tater tots with the cheese already infused in it, I highly recommend it. Because after you get done cooking, some of the best eating you'll ever have. And it's not like the actual cheese part of it's in there. I think they add the cheese flavoring to it as they're making the tater tots. Because I've worked in enough processing plants that, Miss Farm, they're well worth trying out. I've watched enough documentaries on processing plants and worked in a few myself that, they'll cut up the potato and they'll go to a different line, and one's making, the stringy hash browns, the other hash browns that are round, the tater tots, the french fries, and other stuff like that. And I'm sure somewhere along the line, when they started making the cheesy tater tots, they found a way to inject into the middle of the tater tot to where you ain't got to worry about having the cheese into it. Yeah, it was fun. If you can find something like that, it's well worth getting. I recommend it. Down here, I think it's $8.99 for a bag of it. For like I think 2 pounds for $8.99. So that's not a real bad deal for it. Which I know prices for stuff here in the South a lot different than, up where everybody else lives. That was like the other day, me and Dad went shopping. I got me some more Dr. Pepper. He likes orange drinks, so that's what he got. We got some ice cream. Let's see, what else did we get? Got some chips and dip. And a few other things. It was right at $60 for all that we got. And you couldn't really tell what we had when we walked out with it. It would all fit in 5 bags. But one of these days when I go, next time I go shopping, I'll take a video of it. Cream soda's pretty good. I don't drink it a whole lot. We actually have different flavors of it down here. I know Dr. Pepper, Coca-Cola, and Root Beer's got their own version of it, and I always liked Root Beer's version of it better than anybody else's. And, yeah, one day I plan on taking y'all, recording a video of us going shopping and at least try to get it to where I'm not getting everybody's face in the video. Because I don't know how they would feel ending up on YouTube. Highly doubt they even on YouTube serious enough to even notice a video like mine to pop up. Well, I at least give y'all an idea what some of the stores around here in Alabama offer compared to what y'all may have up there. Because there'll be at least some different content going on. And the store I go shopping to most of the times I go there, I ain't got to worry about really bumping into a whole lot of people. Because most of the time we get there, the busy hours have done passed by. Usually right around noon times when they get busy around here as far as grocery shopping. And the first of the month, or right around the 3rd, is when everybody gets hard and heavy, because that's when everybody's disability checks come in. And then tomorrow night, if y'all are interested, I'm thinking about recording that auction we're having at the church. If y'all are interested to see what a auction at a church is like, I'll take a video of it. And Miss Fawn, you're the only person I know of that when I upload a new video, you can't really put a comment under it. So I don't know what's going on with it. YouTube's kind of weird. They still have it where I can't make community posts on my YouTube, because it keeps saying my channel's family friendly, and I've never mashed anything on there that would suggest I even wanted something like that going on. So I think it's been over a year that I've been arguing with them over that, and ain't really got nowhere with it. So hopefully here soon all that'll get figured out. Got a spider hanging out here on the air conditioner. I named him Fred. We don't really kill spiders. The only spiders we kill around here in Alabama are the brown recluses and the widowmakers, but others like that, and what we like to call garden spiders. Yeah, I wish he would start doing more lives. I ain't seen him do one in a while, or I've been missing on one. But hopefully Miss Noah, they'll get all that figured out to where you can get back to leaving comments, you know. But there's a garden spider around here. Now it looks like if you just happen to take a quick glance at it, it looks just like a black widow. But where the black widow has a red underglass on the belly, this one has it's black on yellow instead of black on red, like the black widow is. Don't kill those garden spiders, because spiders like them, the one that just showed you there, and some of the other ones, they actually keep black widows and brown recluses away, so you don't have to worry about them. And as far as snakes go, I ain't seen the first one this year. Which, where I live out there's a lot of cow pastures. And if you don't know anything about the relationship between cows and snakes, I'll let you on a little secret. Cows and horses and goats and pigs and chickens will actually keep, and even dogs will keep snakes away. And right now I got 4 cow fields around pretty close to where I live at. I hardly ever pay attention to that stuff, Miss Fawn. I think I've seen a few of them like that. But growing up on a farm, you learn real quick that, you just your basic farm animal, just name will keep your snakes pretty much out of the way. Ain't really been a whole lot of bees around here. I'll see a few come through the yard and everything, and some of those little flowers that have the white tops to them that everybody gets in the yard no matter where they live. I'll show you. Those little flower things right there. Now, every now and again I'll see them come through and land on them and get honey. I don't ever mess with them because they're a pretty important part of our ecosystem, and so I really don't bother them none. I leave them alone. And one reason why I don't really bother them is my uncle used to keep beehives for the honey, because I think he had 6 beehives set up, and out of the 3 beehives, he would keep the honey out of it for, he'd get some to my grandma, he'd keep some, I'd get some, and then the other 3 he'd go around selling, made good money at it. And if you ain't never had a homemade honey, we get ticks around here, but I've been lucky the last couple of years to never really have one on me. This year was the first time that I found a tick on me in probably 10 years. And I was hanging out at a friend's house, and it was just starting to get warm. And they have 3 pit bulls that they raise, and they keep them inside and everything. When it's cold out, they stay inside more than out, but when it's warm out, they'll spend most of the day outside. Well, anyway, when one of them came back in, they like to get some loving when they come back in from the outside. And I guess one of them brought a tick in with it, and it got onto me. And I just so happened to feel it as it was crawling on my neck. And that's the only tick I found. That's the first tick I found on me in 10 years. But if you ain't never had homemade honey, I would highly recommend it. It tastes a whole lot better than the honey that you can get from the store. Well, that ain't no good, Miss Fawn. You gotta keep an eye out for them things. Since I was down there fishing earlier today, I want to keep an eye on, make sure I didn't pick one up. As this is a cow pasture we talking about here. But if you can find somebody that's selling some homemade honey, especially if you can find one with the comb still in it, be some of the best eating you'll ever have. And you wouldn't think the comb would taste that good out of a beehive, but they are absolutely delicious. It's kind of hard to describe what it tastes like. Well, that ain't no good, Miss Fawn. Hopefully, the head on it came out all right. But if you can guess that, I guess the closest I would say that the comb out, especially if you leave it within the honey there. The best way I could honestly describe it is it kind of tastes like grandma's homemade pancakes with the honey on it would be the best I could come to describing it to. If you can, if your grandma's one of those, she made homemade pancakes and all. That's about as close as I can get to describing what a comb out of a beehive tastes like. Well, that's good, Miss Fawn. At least it didn't have a chance of burying its head in you or anything, so you came out all right. But anyway, I'm gonna get off here and head back inside and everything, and I'll see y'all. I'm gonna do another video tomorrow, and Tuesday is my next planned live stream. So y'all have a good rest of your night and stay safe out there, Miss Fawn.